Hey, yo, what's up everyone? Welcome to another video here. Blizzard has given us another PTR patch. We actually get a second patch in very quick succession. Once again, they put it on the PTR first before they put it on the live server. The last one at this point is already on the live server, right? But bunch of, or actually lots of bug fixes and other very tiny and small adjustments in this one. So if you missed it, let's have a look together. There's a few things when I initially read the notes that I wasn't quite sure what they mean, but I went over to Reddit. I was reading through the comments of Spazzo and Elitesparkle, and I think I found most of the answers, what people were concerned about. But yeah, let's have a look. So October 23rd is when we got the patch. So four days at this point ago. As I said, it's still on the PTR server, so people can test it. There were, with this patch, as always, like a bunch of bugs that occurred, but yeah, they have some time to iron it out, to figure it out, and hopefully, when it goes to the live server, they got rid of all the little nasty things. So, as I said, like the notes, as you can see, there is there's a lot of things that were addressed or got addressed. Some of them won't be really noticeable, I think, but we get to that in a second. So they changed some stuff with the observer UI. I guess it's gonna be more in line overall. They changed some icon colors, like this whole column here is them changing some colors of talent icons, I think. I mean, yeah, it's small thing. So then we come to this one, right? This was, or it sounded very interesting. Abilities, and then it says, so we have bounce, cleave, and splash. Try to keep those three in mind. Bounce abilities that bounce will require all targets to be visible. So initially, when people were reading that, and me included, I was like super unsure what it means. But people were afraid that, for example, Cassia's Ball Lightning and Thrall's Q would not hit people behind walls, for example, anymore because you don't have vision on them. I found comments on that, Spazzo explaining what exactly it means, but no worries. No worries, Crash Lightning enjoyers. This is only bound to auto attacks, and there's only a very few heroes that actually have that interaction at all. So the skill shots and so on that we use, or that are bouncing, they are not getting changed, so no worries. There's some changes to invul. Apparently some of the skill shots were still hitting the target even though they were invul. I think it was inconsistent, so they're trying to figure that or fix that and make it more consistent with everything else in the game. There's an ARAM change. It's experience globes were changed or increased, it says. And down here, I think... yeah, fixed an issue that caused ARAM maps to use different XP systems. I did find the comment of Elitesparkle, we will get to that in a minute, what exactly it means. But yeah, basically they're changing the XPs a little bit in ARAM. And yeah, just making, or putting it in a way that it should be. Balance updates, we actually, and welcome back to HOTS, I guess, 2023, we got a balance change. Can you believe it? Samuro! So they increase baseline, his healing, from his E, from 1 to 3%. That's the baseline ability. And then Way of the Wind, that is, I think, the level 1 talent that you can choose. They nerf that by 1%. So I guess now you wonder why the heck does Samuro get a change? What about Hogger, Blaze, Brightwing, Lucio, Genji, Hanzo, Diablo, whatever you name them? Why does Samuro get a change? I think it stems from them bug fixing the global, like, basing and then getting back to lane within the same frame so you can fully heal. I guess maybe they felt like it was very harsh in terms of the gameplay for Samuro, because the bug was in the game for so long that it was almost a feature, right? So they tried to give him a little bit of love, and I mean, yeah, sure, I guess. Bug fixes. This is going to be very lengthy. We will try, or I will try to keep it short. Fixed an issue that evading targets would still lose armor from Hellbats and Gnolls. So that's on Braxis and Alterac. The Hellbats and the Gnolls, they are reducing your armor, and actually of buildings as well. Very important to know. So now when you're evading, you're not losing your armor anymore. So there's a bunch of no longer reveals attackers, or like reveal changes in general, for example, right? Like with a lot of abilities and heroes, I still don't understand 100% what these reveal changes mean, but I found some comments on it, and I think we won't really notice the difference. I think there were some slight inconsistencies with some abilities, and I think they're ironing it out, so it all works the same way. And I think that we won't really notice the difference at the end of the day. There is some interesting bug fixes. Let me see if I can find some. I mean, yeah, you can go through by yourself, right? But most of them, I mean, there's a lot of like reveal changes, as I mentioned. I think the Haka actually got some actual bug fixes. Let me see. Ah, yeah, not only there's a lot of reveal changes, but also a lot of interactions that didn't work out with blind, by the way. So like some auto attacks or some procs went through the blind status, so you would get your cooldown back, or I don't know, would proc a certain certain ability. I think they fixed most of that as well now. Deathwing, Gaze onto Destruction. I thought they already fixed it last patch, but maybe they did it now. It's still level 16. That would reduce damage taken from everything, basically. Deckard Cain level 16. Yeah, it's also with the blind or evasion, right? Like he would bonk someone, but apparently it wouldn't consume the cooldown if he was hitting an evading target, which obviously is a bug. We get to the Haka now. So, Borrow, that's his E, no longer prevents allied abilities from affecting the Haka. So, I mean, I need some 500 IQ people working this out exactly. And not only this one, but where is it? This one here. Lurker Strain's knockback will no longer function as a stun. So I need people to figure out exactly what these things mean. I think it's like Brightwing Z. When you press the Haka E, you would cancel the Brightwing. As far as I understand, not under all circumstances. But I guess now it is consistent anyways. Like the Brightwing Z will go through, right? And there might be some other things that work the same way. And then the knockback no longer functions as a stun. So that was obviously a bug. I think it was never supposed to act as a stun. I think it's like a mini stun, 0.25 or something. I don't know exactly how it worked. So I think he can still interrupt Mosh and other channeling abilities, but yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys tested that. What exactly is going on with the Haka level 4E now. Yeah, some death recap fixes as well. Then there's some like status effects getting removed by stasis. I guess it's like Chromie when you walk into a Chromie trap. Honestly, I'm not sure if we will notice any of that. Again, some blinding, like issues with blinds. Genji, no, Genji did not get nerfed. They're just changing the the score screen. Wait, what else was interesting? This one here, Gul'dan. Fixed self-healing bonus from power for power. Hunger for power. I don't know what I said. That's his level 7 talent where you gain spell power, but you reduce healing taken. And the spell power bonus should increase your own healing with like suction and health stone and eating minions. So all of that has been bugged for a very, very long time. And it's finally getting fixed. And you know what else? We scroll down here. fixed an issue that caused Frostbolt to hit targets behind the Frostbolt and to allow more than 2 additional targets to be hit. So there were 2 bugs with Jaina Q. I feel like they are in the game ages as well. I mean, this one a bit more recent because Blizzard eventually changed the level 4 talent. But you were getting hit while the Frostbolt was already gone. This is very old stuff, and it seems like they finally fixed it. So thumbs up for that. Some small bug fixes for Junkrat when he's stacking his Q. Revealed layer, you know, like all these reveal changes, we will get to that in a second. There's some Leoric stuff. Buried Alive can no longer have its duration reduced. That's level 20 Entomb. I'm not quite sure what this means. I guess there was some buggy interaction. There are some buggy interactions with him being in the Undying form. Most of them probably will have no impact. Yeah, I guess they fixed like the block visuals on some of the heroes. I guess they didn't really show the correct ones, maybe. Let me see. I think those were the most important ones. Let me scroll through this real quick. There's some Rhaegar ones, but they already fixed Rhaegar last patch. Most of the things, at least. Yeah, and then you will read, like throughout the notes, you will read things like this, like Burning Blade is now splash damage. That comes back to the bounce, splash, and cleave that we talked about at the very beginning. I'll give you a little bit more insight on that in a second. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any. Yeah, no, I think this is kind of what we were looking for. I will obviously have them in the box below so you can read it yourself. But let's get into the little details, right? Like what does that actually mean? What is going on? So first of all, I'll show you this. Hopefully not too many new bugs slipped in. And of course, as always, as I mentioned, like if you're fixing something, something else breaks, and it happened again. One of the funny ones is D.Va Splash is capable of hurting all targets in area. Instead of only enemies, including herself, by the way. So D.Va was killing herself on the PTR with auto attacks, I believe. And then another really funny one is, where is it? Here, Medivh's portals are no longer usable. I mean, that's a pretty good nerf. Maybe you give him a different ability, though, next time. But yeah, no worries. This is only on the PTR, so that nothing happened on the live server. And right after, they already made it so Medivh can use portals again. And D.Va basic attacks now have search filters, so she was only gonna hit opponents. And we talked about the invul changes earlier, right? Like, read this one. Johanna's Blessed Shield now ignores invul enemies even with the fifth hit. So I guess it's like the 5th bounce of the Blessed Shield. So I guess the other 4 didn't go for the invuls, but the 5th one was going for it. So you can see there's like some very small things that didn't work as planned. What do we have next? Yeah, this one. Bounce, splash, cleave, right? We talked about it. So someone is saying on Reddit, bounce will require targets to be visible. That's a huge nerf to Crash Lightning. And what we talked about. And then Spazzo replying, he says, I don't think, which sounds like he's not sure, but he says Crash Lightning is not in that category. It means to be basic attack source things. And then I think we have a second one of the... Yeah, so he confirms it again. There was a bit of a miscommunication. The bounce changes are only for basic attack sources, like Kaidarin Amulet, which is Tassadar, and Remorseless, that would be Sylvanas. These are both talents, level 1 Tassadar and level 13 Sylvanas. There's a few more talents that alter the auto attack to be bounce or splash or cleave, I guess, but it's rather niche, so no worries. You can still kill people with Crash Lightning when they are trying to hide. The ARAM changes, right? The experience changes. I know a lot of you are loving ARAM. So what did they do? So basically, I think, if I understand this right, the XP changes that were once made never really made it into ARAM, or they made it in a buggy way, right? Because you see, like, ARAM basically having 2 experience system at the same time. So I guess Blizzard messed it up initially. So yeah, they iron it out, they fix it. Should be, I think, kind of the same as before, but yeah, let me know once the patch goes live if you notice any difference in the ARAM games. Especially, I guess, in terms of length, right? Because if you get less experience or more, then the game would be slower or faster most of the time. Someone asking about what does the reveal thingies mean, and I wonder that as well. Like, what are the changes here? And then Spazzo says, so a number of abilities to reveal targets hit for 2 seconds. This is a patch to make an effort to make it more consistent. So I guess there were some abilities, or actually a lot of abilities, that didn't fully follow the standard, right? And he says there's even more things, but it takes them a while to figure them all out and fix them all. Another one by Spazzo here. I think, yeah, there was a user asking if there are any undocumented changes, because, you know, Spazzo is usually the master putting all the undocumented changes onto Reddit. He mentions, like, the D.Va can now self-ping her self-destruct, similar as the Tracer Bomb. You know, the percentage goes up. So I guess that works now. It's like a quality of life change. And then there seems to be a number of things that were not listed in the patch notes. But yeah, very small things. Funnily enough, he mentions Misha having more mount speed than intended. I guess not all the time, right? So I guess maybe sometimes Misha bugs out and is on speed. Yeah, I think... Wait, what is this about? Splash will not hit a targeted immune to AoE's entities. Yeah, so what does that mean? Also a very small niche thing, actually. Spazzo says it basically applies to Sergeant Hammer Spider Mines, Kira while she is in her E spinning around you, and Mayev's D. So yeah, it's a very niche thing to even proc, but I guess it's a bit similar to these evading and blinding inconsistencies, and I guess this was also one of the bugs that I found and fixed. What do we have here? Ah, yeah. Just Spazzo saying that he didn't post undocumented list yet, or undocumented changes list yet. Because he says there's a lot of stuff that is not listed. So the patch notes are long, right? There's a lot of things to scroll through, and all of them tell you the reveal have been changed. And I guess there is even more. So maybe when the PTR patch is more polished and they got rid of like the things that broke right now, maybe then he will post the undocumented changes list. Yeah, I found this comment, and no worries, there's no balance changes to Rhaegar, but one of the people were asking Spazzo, like, hey, what would you do if you had to balance Rhaegar? And he came up with these suggestions. So nerfing Rising Storm a little bit by 2%, the duration by 1. That's the level 16 talent, by the way. So and then Earthgrass Totem, that's also the 16 slow from 90 to 80. So he would do very small number changes, actually. And I mean, maybe Blizzard should talk to Spazzo and get this man on board. I don't know, I kind of like it. I kind of like not trying to ruin the balance that we have right now, because I think overall HOTS is in a decent spot when it comes to balance. And yeah, go step by step, like change some small things and see if that works out the way you want it to. Let's go back to the notes one more time, because there was something that I skipped. Where was it? Anyways, I can't find it right now, or I probably scrolled over it. But basically, they have adjusted or changed the difficulty levels of not all heroes, but actually a vast majority. You know when you're hovering in quick match and you click on a hero and it tells you, this one is very easy or very hard or medium. So they adjusted these levels or the difficulties for some heroes, made them easier or harder depending on what they actually are. And I mean, that's quite interesting, right? Because at the end of the day, these difficulty levels really only apply for people that maybe play the game for the first time or are new to the game. So I wonder if you know, if that means a little bit more. It's probably a lot of copium, but I mean, we will see what comes next. Like BlizzCon is next week, I think, or in 2 weeks. I don't think they will mention HOTS, but who knows, man? Like I didn't expect to get two patches like this, polishing the game. I don't know. Maybe they polish it for the Steam, you know, so I can put it on Steam. Maybe they polish it last time for the last time, and then it goes, shut down the servers. Like I don't know what they are planning exactly, but I mean it's good to see, and I want to commend Blizzard or I guess maybe Spazzo and Elitesparkle reached out to Blizzard. I don't know how exactly that worked, but I really like that Blizzard listened to both of them in terms of bug fixes, because they both have like a very long list of things that didn't work as intended or were inconsistent, and they have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the technical things in HOTS, like how things do not behave as they should, right? So it's kind of nice that there was some communication between them. And yeah, they got a lot of bugs fixed. They got a lot of bugs fixed in the last patch. And there, you know, there's more. So last patch, we got some big ones out of the game. The Rhaegar Rising Storm bug is out. Now the Jaina Q bug, Gul'dan spell power. We had some other rather, like, you know, noticeable ones. And then there's like so many small, very niche scenarios that you basically never really stumble on. Like they just happen and kind of ignore them. But yeah, it's good to see. What do you think, guys, actually? What does that mean? What is going on? Why is Blizzard patching the game out of nowhere? Do we read too much into it? Does it mean nothing? Does it mean HGC 2025 is coming back? Yeah. The video is getting too long. The patch notes were long, though, to be fair. I hope you got some of your questions answered. I know there was a lot of things that were unclear when we initially went through the notes, because I also didn't know exactly how it would work, but I think I found most of the answers in the Reddit posts, in the comments over there. So yeah, if there's anything else you want to know, just leave a comment. Maybe we can figure it out together. Or if you know something because you actually played on the PTR and you tested things, you can also put that in the comments, of course. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you in the next.